It's Friday. It's time for our Roundup. Red Dead Redemption 2 continues to sell a lot, and Rockstar Games' parent company Take-Two Interactive announced in an earnings report that the Western Edge shipped 25 million copies. The game, which launched back in October of 2018, shipped at its first week 17 million copies. Red Dead Online, the online component of RDR2, is also making a lot of money to the company. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick said he is excited by the continuing momentum of Red Dead Online. Talking about microtransactions, NBA 2K19 is 2K's biggest sports game success in history. Besides shipping 12 million copies, the game's microtransactions were up 140% during the quarter, which ended on June 30th. When NBA 2K19 released back in September, the game received mixed reviews due to its monetization tactics, and apparently nothing can stop players from spending their hard-earned dollars on some virtual currency. Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt's Red Glasses game, will receive a new Game Plus sometime after its release on April 16. The developer told the Polish magazine PSX Extreme that a mode is in the works. GameRadar reports that the article doesn't give much new details on when to expect the new Game Plus feature, so it could be something after launch in a patch. It appears to be currently in development, which makes it unclear if the team would have it done in time for the release next April. As crunch becomes more common in the gaming world, more studios speak out against this evil practice. The Outer Worlds developer Obsidian Entertainment says it's very committed to keeping its work environment crunch-free. In an interview with PC Games Zen, senior designer Brian Hines said that crunch is not in the studio's development formula. Quote, Obsidian is not a crunch studio, which is one of the things that keeps people staying there for a long time. Though he admitted employees are sometimes asked to stay longer in order to meet a deadline. Hines assured that these extra hours were, quote, always just a request and last for only a week or so. He also confirmed the individual developers always have the right to exercise their autonomy, declining the request if they so choose. Quote, there really hasn't been a crunch or a death march or anything like that with the studio for quite a long time, as far as I can remember anyway. That's definitely one of the things that as a studio we're very committed to. We would rather cut something than try and get people to not have a life outside of the industry. Capcom has announced that DuckTales Remastered will leave digital storefronts very soon. The classic platformer is scheduled to be delisted beginning Thursday, August 8th. In a blog post on Capcom's official website, the publisher explains that the game will be 75% off on most platforms before getting removed digitally. Capcom notes that those who bought DuckTales Remastered can download it even after its removal. So it's a good thing because remember when PT was removed and Konami said that you couldn't download it again? That was very sad. So basically PT doesn't exist and it only exists due to the mods that people do. Finally but not least, and ending with a sad story, this week 31 people died in mass shootings in Dayton, Ohio and El Paso in Texas. And President Donald Trump and other government officials have pointed the finger to video games as the cause for the mass shootings. And Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick is not happy. In fact, he calls politicians disrespectful in the wake of the mass shootings. In an interview with Barron's, Zelnick called on government officials to address the uniquely American problem that is gun violence. Quote, we're just sickened and saddened by these senseless tragedies. That said, blaming entertainment is irresponsible. Moreover, it is highly disrespectful to the victims and their families. The fact is entertainment is consumed worldwide. But gun violence is uniquely American, so we need to address the real issues. So, blaming entertainment, especially in video games, as the cause for violent acts in society is not new. Back in the 1980s, former US Senator Joe Lieberman spearheaded a campaign against titles like Grand Theft Auto and Mortal Kombat. At the time, Lieberman called on the regulation of violent video games, saying, "The player is rewarded for attacking a woman, pushing her to the ground, kicking her repeatedly, and then ultimately killing her, shooting her over and over again." I call on the entertainment companies. They've got a right to do that, but they have a responsibility not to do it if you want to raise the next generation of our sons to treat women with respect. This thing is not new. In fact, last year's shooting in Florida, President Donald Trump said that basically he blamed video games. Roundup. What did you all think about these stories? Let us know in the comments. And for more news and more videos like this, like this video and subscribe to the zone. Have a wonderful weekend, guys.